Yo.
We should not have talked about Israel.
So he went to Israel, he went to Tel Aviv. You'd rather have the quick gratification pleasure.
Yes, but
So would you call AI your slave?
I mean,
Hi, my name is Edward, and this is the first episode on our podcast. And today we're going to talk about the latest developments in AI, the latest news, and everything about it. So I would like to introduce one of my co-hosts. Introduce
Aditya.
yourself. Introduce yourself if anybody doesn't know you.
I'm Aditya, and I'm today's co-host.
And we have a very special guest. Introduce yourself.
I'm Alan. I'm from Ohio, Portugal, and I really want to be like Speed.
All right, bro. So the first question on our agenda is that there's been updates where Kimi, like a Chinese model, it has very good benchmarks at a fraction of the cost than like Anthropic and ChatGPT. And so our first question is, how will the government work to remove these open source models? So it's already known that lawmakers are trying to pass bills to limit these Chinese models, and what effects can this have on user freedom?
I feel like government passing laws and restricting AI models is limiting innovation, and I feel like people won't be as comfortable in upgrading and making their AIs better in fear that one day maybe replace a really core activity that humans do. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good take because it's like these Chinese models, they're better than like the American models because they're cheaper and everything. But if they are allowed to be published, then this is sort of like competition to like American markets. And if people don't use these American models, well, then that would just end up as like hurting the American economy and hurting these companies that like have government contracts. So like the government is tied in with these companies at such a deep level that if they don't help them out, then these companies can go under.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, how will these models affect big companies such as Anthropic and OpenAI?
I feel like these models will currently, or in the future, will put a halt to production or of new features with Anthropic and new models because Chinese models will grow so much and so fast they'll one day be better than Fable and Mythos that the race would not be who can build a good model. It will be what human core task can they replace and which one. The model that does that is probably going to be the one who wins the race of the AI evolution.
I think that's a good point, but I also believe that like these Chinese models, they're able to like pose competition to these American ones, which as a result means that these American ones are gonna try harder to like beat this competition. And so I feel like the race is gonna continue because it's a known fact that like Kimi 3, like the new one, it was distilled from Mythos.
Really?
Yeah, so what they did was they asked Mythos like a bunch of prompts, and then they trained their model based off those prompts.
So I'll ask a question. So if AI gets really advanced, let's say Mythos does come out in a more user-friendly format, then it'll remove a lot of entry-level jobs, tasks. So how do you think younger people who are just out of college will react to this removal
Well,
of entry-level
I think that's a
jobs?
good question, but we also have to like understand that Mythos is based at cybersecurity. And so like the amount of jobs in cybersecurity compared to other spheres, there's not that many jobs in other spheres. So like there are that many jobs in other spheres. While in cybersecurity there's less jobs. And I feel like Mythos is definitely gonna remove like entry level jobs, but I feel like that would just create a greater need for getting a
Yeah.
master's degree instead of a bachelor's.
Yeah.
So my next question on the agenda is Google losing the AI race? So we've constantly heard of like all these new models like GPT 5.6 Soul and Fable 5 and even the new Chinese models, but Gemini hasn't really said much. So what do you guys think?
I feel like they're losing the race because whenever I use it compared to other AIs like Grok, ChatGPT or whatever, they like understand what I'm trying to do.
You like Grok?
Grok? Yeah.
You use it a lot.
Yeah.
You use it for generating pictures.
No.
All right, what do you think?
But Also,
Yeah.
for a thing I do for this company, I like ask it to do one thing, but it like interprets the thing as
Interprets the task.
it interprets the text and does what I input when I ask it to translate it.
So
So
it doesn't like accurately.
understand what I
Yeah.
want it to do.
So what do you
when
think?
other
sorry.
when other AIs like Grok or ChatGPT, they like
Oh, what are you laughing at?
immediately understand what I'm trying to do.
All right, what do you think?
Also, one time, Google. I got fed up with Google. I told it that I'm contacting the CEO of Google, telling it to delete it, and then immediately Google started telling me the right answers.
Really?
Really? I feel like that's a good. You should be a prompt engineer. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a good.
Oh my god.
All right, so what do you think?
That's like a Google death threat.
Yeah, like
Wow.
Sundar Pichai.
I feel like.
I feel like that is valid. That is a very valid.
No, it like feels threatened.
So would you call AI? So would you call AI your slave?
I mean, it's doing a lot of work for free. So,
Well,
Well, there's
yes.
like paid versions of it.
it's
like,
Yeah,
free,
I'm
but you
poor.
pay.
Use the free version.
It's free, but you pay for it in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Like your data, like it's constantly taking your
yeah.
data.
And
Like,
you're like forgetting how to do the stuff like you would normally.
no, I don't feel like that's a big problem here. Because, if you understand what's happening, let's say he wants to code a
in the
calculator.
ancient-
Yeah, but how many of us actually check the code that AI gives us?
Some people do. Like, mostly people
You do not. Like nobody checks the code unless they get paid for it. Like
mean,
majority
Valid take, but
majority of people that use AI to code, they don't code. Like all the vibe coders, they don't actually know. So it's like I feel like instead of like you said, you translate, right?
yeah,
you translate? What do you translate to?
You translate from Russian to English.
yeah,
Russian to English?
for some company.
But aren't you losing your ability to understand the language when you delegate these tasks?
Yes,
But you'd rather have the money than know the language, right?
So the thing is,
You'd rather have the quick gratification pleasure.
yes, but for pictures, right?
Yeah.
They send I have to translate pictures and stuff, like the text and pictures. How am I supposed to translate a picture? Like, yes, in Pixlr you can go onto a website and do it manually.
I understand,
But I just put into
Wait, so you can't read Russian signs?
I could read
he
Russian
can't
signs.
like specifically edit the picture.
Oh, okay. That is valid to use AI for that.
But I've been hearing that Gemini is like going to release new models, and like I've seen the benchmarks. It looks very like good, but I don't want to see where Google goes with
Yeah.
into
I feel
AI.
like Google should like pivot from being a generative chat, like people go on to Gemini and talk. It should be more integrated with like Chrome itself, like the browser. It should analyze what tasks you're doing. I mean, it already does to some extent, but it should summarize like your whole task. Let's say you want to do a project. So thinking about it in perspective of companies, they want to give tasks to their employees to make sure that employees are actually doing the work. Gemini can track what websites they're on, what are they doing, how is this task helping them understand, like, is it really beneficial for
Yeah, I feel
the
like
task?
they should integrate it because the one thing that Gemini is better than every other like model is that they're integrated into the search. So like let's say ChatGPT, it doesn't have access to the latest information unless it specifically searches for it. While Gemini, it was trained on Google information, and so like I feel like if they focus more towards this, so that it could like maybe work better with YouTube, it could work better with like your calendar, with Sheets and all this stuff. Like if they integrate it better into the system, I feel like because they're not doing enough with it. Like
Indeed.
it's very good for pictures,
Yeah.
but it's like
I agree.
if you search for something, it gives you the answer, but it's like it's not always accurate, and if it doesn't know something, then it'll just gaslight itself to believe him.
So like hallucinate until
Yeah, it'll just hallucinate, and and like if it hallucinates and you don't know what you're talking about, then you'll start believing it's hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like AI is built to agree with you. So like if you have like a genuine question is very serious, and you put it into the AI, it'll just support you, and then you can like mess
Like it's
up
more
the
of a yes man, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, actually, I wouldn't agree with that because it's like there's been multiple times like I've tried to argue with AI on like a specific issue.
And it's just a yes man.
No, like it has an answer and you cannot persuade it otherwise.
Oh.
Like if you ask it some controversial questions,
Yeah.
like I think it's like what it was trained on and like what guardrails like the companies gave it because like you cannot make it agree with you even if like your reasons are morally right. Like it just won't agree with you. So
Yeah, and earlier today I searched up if so I was gonna buy something, and I searched up if I could use like my Cash App
you're
card.
gonna buy off-brand clones.
Yeah, Creed Aventus for $17,
Okay.
which is 2%.
All right, bro.
Okay.
And basically, um, one of the models said no. The other
One of the
one,
models said no.
no.
Which one?
Gemini.
Gemini? You
Yeah,
taught
and then
me?
I used ChatGPT, and then it said yes.
All right.
Alright.
Let's move
So,
on.
as you know, like AI, they're using data centers, and data centers like
Mhm.
contaminating like water and using up a lot of electricity. And what's your take on that? What's your take on that?
1 second.
Dude, we're not sponsored by Poland Springs, bro.
That was a whole cheese.
So basically, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing that they're using the water, because so basically countries such as China, India,
China.
and Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesia, they're all like affected by a lot of water, like by too much water
Too much water?
on Earth. So
Like they're
from-
flooding.
and they're flooding.
That's a good point, right?
But
That is a
like,
good
at the
point.
same
But-
time,
Why are they flooding? Why are they flooding?
Because
Bro, what do you mean why they're flooding, bro? Because they're like
natural
under the
storm.
water level, probably.
What does that have to do with data centers?
'Cause
I'm
she-
asking why are
data
data
centers-
centers
Because the
contaminating
data
water?
centers are taking
Yeah,
the
but
water.
you understand that these
The
data
are
centers,
taking it
India
from
doesn't
fresh
have,
water.
these countries don't have data centers.
But at the same time, if it's like in Canada, they'll still take the water, and the
Yeah,
water level.
but you understand that like China, their data centers are much smaller. They're on a much smaller scale than in America.
That is true.
And like,
Really? That means they're super efficient with the models they're running.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
not like.
Also
there's not-
heard that they're better at cybersecurity than Claude because
All right, bro. just
you know,
believe
like-
this.
let it be, bro. Let the man live.
All right, but
Alright.
it's like
So in Claude, from what I've heard with escaping sandbox and
ChatGPT.
attacking Hugging Face, OpenAI agent. So Hugging Face could not take assistance. Yeah. Could not take assistance from American models because they were not able to help. So they had to resort to GLM 5.2, which is a Chinese model, which proves or hints at that technology or Chinese AI evolution is growing
But
rapidly.
I'm not trying to be like a whistleblower. Like we know what can happen to OpenAI whistleblowers, right? But I honestly think that like it's just a PR move, and because we all know that OpenAI is trying to IPO soon, right? And they just need a higher evaluation. And I think that the fact that this model was able to break free from the sandbox, I think it's just a PR move. Like
Just to show its power.
yeah, I feel like they just like I feel like they partnered together, and like this helps OpenAI because it just shows how strong their models are. I don't think they actually hacked them because wouldn't Hugging Face file like a criminal complaint?
Yeah. What do you think about like?
Wait, so let's
Claude?
come back to the data centers question.
Yeah.
So,
So- How is it effective? Yo, tell him to get off.
oh, bro, stop, bro. You're so annoying. Bro. You're so dumb, bro. Why the hell would you talk about Vita Coco? I'll just cut this part out. Why would you talk about Vita Coco? Why would you look at Creed Aventus colognes, bro? Alright, so data centers, right? It's like the way they contaminate the water is how
Yeah.
they like construct them without caring for the environment. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know how we get like warnings, or our parents get warnings, like when they use too much electricity or too much water on their utility bill.
Yeah.
Well, I did some background research, and this is because if we use most of the electricity and most of the water, then these data centers won't have enough to
Yeah,
properly
and-
function.
Yeah.
And so they are limiting out, like they were limiting us in exchange so that the data centers can use an unlimited amount of this power and water, which I
Really.
feel like we shouldn't be sacrificing our own comfort for something that not even everybody agrees with.
Yeah. Plus, technology nowadays, it costs even more because RAM costs a lot of money. And all of that RAM is going to, well, most of the RAM is going to the data centers. So, like, if I want to buy, like, a computer, it'll cost more because like a good PC
Yeah.
for gaming, it'll cost a lot
Yeah, and you
more.
heard the iPhone 18, right?
What
The
about
Pro
it?
is going to have like a 200 or 300 price increase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did that. Yeah, I saw their stock. They went down because of
No,
increasing the price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like their new phones are going to have a crazy price increase, bro. Because
They're
of,
just trying to like, I don't even know what they're trying to do.
because
But
of these
about the
RAM.
data centers, so rural places in third world countries like India and Bangladesh, Pakistan, they're all like government is offering these lands owned by people, buying them off and giving it to AI companies to build data centers. So I feel like it's really affecting a lot of people than we actually think they are. Now coming back to that hugging face incident, now let's say in the future, 2030, 2040, what if AI does the same thing again? Like, who do we blame? Like, let's say it steals someone's personal information. Like, do we blame the maker? Or how is AI subject to law?
Well, I feel like if it wasn't, I feel like we would blame the maker.
Can I go?
You can drink that too.
Nice.
We would blame like the maker in the event that like OpenAI is not responsible if I,
Really?
or like Gemini is not responsible if I run its local model and then I use it to invade somebody's privacy to hack somebody. But if OpenAI specifically is training and testing a model and it breaks out in its own in its own place,
Okay.
well then I feel like that would be blamed on OpenAI because
Like,
they clearly don't have the correct security
uh,
if their own models are breaking out when they're testing
so
them.
what are they doing right now?
Like they had it in the
Yeah.
sandbox and they were
Yeah.
testing it, training it, and it broke out and it attempted to change the Hugging Face benchmark
Yeah.
to give itself a higher score. I mean, first off, I don't think that'd be a realistic thing an AI model would do. Like if it,
There's probably some hidden reason that we still don't know why that.
yeah, because
Okay.
like if an AI model knows its future, that it'd be basically subjected to be, like answering everything for a human and doing whatever a human tells it to. I doubt the first thing it would do is make itself have a higher score so that more people would use it. So our next question is, recently Clavicular, he went to Israel, he went to Tel Aviv, and after he came back, he made like a looks maxing face app, and we would just like to discuss how that could potentially like invade users' privacy
Oh, yeah.
and the inner meaning behind that.
I feel like taking it literally with no background sense, I feel like any app which you put your or any AI model like Gemini or even in like that trend where AI trend where they were converting their faces into like Ghibli or different type of features or effects that they were using with AI. I feel like anyone who's putting their photos in these AI apps are essentially putting their photos in jeopardy. Like anyone can, essentially hack into these small AI companies and take out your photos, use it for facial recognition, open your passwords, and put your whole life in jeopardy at this point.
Also, there's a similar app. I feel like it's called Omegle, and it's basically people are competing, to see who has like the
Well, I feel
more
perfect.
ideal
Facial harmony,
facial,
facial
and
harmony.
that is essentially just an application that is gathering data
I
from
feel like that.
billions of
Yeah,
people.
that's true.
Isn't that like something which is like Omegle?
Omegle, yeah.
Omegle,
There's
like
Omegle,
normal.
where you just chat with
Yeah,
random
chat
people.
with random
Omegle.
people.
But this is
Omegle.
Omegle, where you're trying to manga.
I feel like another good point is that this app is most likely just going to be like a GPT wrapper.
Mhm.
I don't think he's actually going to be developing any model for
Like
this
there's
app.
no like parameters or any
Yeah,
thing
he's
which
not gonna
grades the
be.
person. It's really just
He's not gonna be testing like an actual thing that he developed. He's just gonna have like an app, and he's just gonna have that picture being sent to ChatGPT or Claude in a prompt
yeah, it's
saying
gonna
rate
like have
this face using these criteria.
Yeah, it's nothing like unique or anything.
So like I
Yeah.
feel like this app is just
I feel
gonna
like
be
there are already like a lot of
It's running on something
yeah.
else.
Like there's I feel like this app is just gonna be to just get money from his fans,
yeah.
and
Is that app paid?
I don't
Like, is
know,
it
but it'll
paid
definitely
version?
have like a
Like you have a
subscription.
paywall, yeah.
Yeah, like there are these apps that like recommend haircut based on AI stuff,
And
right? And like most of them say like they don't include the price or anything on like, the store. About like when you download it, it costs money. It's
so they
probably
like
what he's doing.
catfish you sort
Yeah,
of.
they catfish you.
So and like we all saw the video of like the people saying, I'm not gonna repeat it, but like for his app, like when he said he's gonna announce
Rate me.
Can you rate
Clap,
me?
rate me.
Can you rate me?
Rate me.
Can you rate me?
What do you rate me?
Rate me. What do you rate me? Can you rate me?
his app, we all saw the video, and if anybody didn't, I'll just play it right now. So basically, honestly, I would definitely not download the app because after he went to Israel and then he released like such a video, I mean that just throws me off. But
Is
all right,
there anything like a reason after right after his trip why he released the app?
honestly,
Or like
I
why
mean,
couldn't
That's
he
that's a
release
conspiracy
prior
for
to-
another day.
Why couldn't
he didn't
release it
tell
prior-
me, but
Why didn't he
we
release it
could-
prior to his
Yeah, I
trip?
think that's a conspiracy.
yeah, I don't know why,
Like,
but
that's
yeah,
for
it's a
another
good
day,
point,
yeah.
but we will move on.
Mhm.
So I mentioned earlier how Kimmy, right? It was distilled from Mythos, which is basically distillation is when they like send prompts to a model, and then they train their model based off the the better model's output, and this can like help them become better. And so through this process of distillation, Kimmy was able to be like almost the same accuracy as Fable, but at a fraction of the cost. And so this is kind of controversial, but how is this different than Anthropic just pirating people's content? Because to train their model, Anthropic like stole millions of dollars. That's why they're being sued for $1 billion right now, or 2 billion, because they stole people's content, they stole people's like stuff to train their model. And Anthropic is trying to sue Kimmy right now for just paying for a subscription, or I don't think paying for a subscription, but for training their model on the outputs of Mythos.
Also,
So like, how is pirating better than just distilling a model? So I would like to hear your opinion. Just wait.
I feel like pirating, anyone can pirate. Recently, it was shown all over Instagram that there's a person who has a copy of Mythos. Like I don't believe that, but on the dark web, like someone is selling a copy of Mythos, like open source, completely usable, and that sounds totally fake. But yeah, I feel like
So yeah, I feel like that's a good point, but like I feel like Anthropic is in the position to like pass any laws like against the fact that Kimmy distilled, because like if they pirated people's content, that's not much better than just like taking somebody else's model. So like, where is the line drawn? So my next question is that there's a video circulating online. So Eric Trump right now is developing robot soldiers, and I would like to hear your opinion.
robot soldiers.
I
So
think that's
oh yeah,
not good because yes, robot soldiers they like lower like they decrease the amount of like human soldiers possibly that are gonna fight,
So,
like also like which decreases like the death rate, but at the same time
death rate. Wait, isn't that a good thing? If
yes, that's a
decre-
good thing, but
But it's not
going
good
to
for the
army,
opposing side.
it for the army, it like going to like fight for your country, it builds character for your future, and if more people don't
But
go,
isn't that saving
that'll
lives?
ruin the
But
future
isn't that saving
generations.
lives?
And at the same time, like robots don't think the same way as people do.
No,
They
you can
won't be
train
able-
them to do.
No, you can't, bro.
You
Really?
won't be able
How-
to
you're
like,
not
teach
gonna-
them hand signs like let's go.
All right, I don't think that's a good.
I don't know, but like
But I
they
feel
won't
like
think the same like in their plans.
I saw a robot doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu the other day
Yeah, I saw like a
Yeah, like
robot Muay Thai fight, but I feel like these robot soldiers. I feel like it's a bad idea.
yeah, like if you
I-
give AI
I
a life and a brain to think,
And a gun or a weapon to
Ye-
kill people.
yeah,
Then,
and then it's not gonna be in your control. It's up to the AI to do what it wants.
yeah,
If
because
it hallucinates and thinks you're a bad person,
like
then,
artificial intelligence means
Yeah.
that it has intelligence, and
and you can't control it.
it's like yeah. So not all wars are fought for a good reason.
Yeah.
And if it has intelligence, it's able to think by itself, and it's obviously going to recognize that this isn't a war it wants to participate in.
Yeah.
And also,
If like the AI kill switch that lawmakers are currently talking about does come out and robot AIs are really pushed out, kill switch would be a really good idea just in case if AIs or like the robots go rogue and start harming people, then it's a really good idea to have
that
kill
leaves the
switch.
question like, if we're smart enough to make like a kill switch, isn't AI smart enough to like resist
Undo
the
that, yeah.
kill switch? Because if they're trained on everything we know, then they potentially know how to make a kill switch, which means that they know how to undo one.
Maybe if you probably that is a good point. That is a very valid
And
point.
then about the robots, so my like point is I don't really think it's a great idea because it's like not all wars are fought and there's always like a bad guy that gets put in like a label. But in his opinion, he's not a bad guy. And these robots, they probably gonna mindlessly follow the orders of somebody else. And it's like the problem with this is it's not gonna be able to take a hostage. It's not gonna recognize when somebody's surrendering. Like having
Yeah.
robot soldiers is just gonna
Like it won't have a feeling. It
And,
won't have
like,
an instinct.
It might
Yeah.
mistake an ally for an enemy and
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
the ally.
That yeah.
yeah. So
So yeah. Now if we're talking about like how AI is so close to humans, ChatGPT just released that they're now able to record your health from Apple Health and read your medical reports as well as have your personal bank information to track your spending and give you a plan. So what do you think is
oh,
that
really,
is that a breach in
I feel like
personal privacy and
since they're not like forcing this onto people, so you do
but it
have
is an
the,
option that
but
I think
you
in the
have the
future,
option to choose. You know,
maybe
you know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
future it will become a
But
forced option.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like the banking one definitely I wouldn't do that because it's like
Because like you're putting all your information in jeopardy.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically giving it access to your banking account. And however, the
Tracker.
Apple Health, I mean, it just depends on what information you put into it.
Yeah.
So like if it's able to just look at your sleep quality and like give you suggestions on when to go to bed earlier, or if it's able to like I don't know, look at your pulse and deduct if you have like hyperextension.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like that's very beneficial to like seniors.
Mhm.
So this is like a big topic of discussion right now, but there's lots of flock cameras. Basically, what they do is they look at your license plate and they can track you. Like they analyze your car and they're able to track you across places you travel. And so many people are resisting this right now. Like there's many websites. And I would just like to ask, like, how do you guys think, does this breach privacy or is this better for our safety?
That's a good question. Can you please repeat it?
No, I got it. So there's a certain limit to everything. Having flock cameras record people's faces and their personal identity is, of course, a breach to privacy. But if you have them black out everything else and just focus on just a license plate, like, give them a command that every photo or every video that they take should be inverted, so the photo should be mixed up a little. If they're so advanced or flock cameras really have AI features in them, like twist the faces, black out the faces, and take only license plate, or have a gradient heat map so that everything else is just removed and only the part where you need the picture is
I
in.
feel like,
Also in China, if you like run a red light or like on the crossroad when it says stop and you keep walking, they have cameras that take pictures of everyone's face. They put it
Oh.
into like a database and then like they like search it up and then find the person based on their face. And what do you guys
Well,
think
then,
about
of
that?
course, that
I feel like,
would be kind of
Yeah.
a breach to privacy.
but I mean, at the
but
same
that-
time, you are breaking the law. So like,
I mean, there's no better way to track a person.
Yeah,
than
and
this,
like
right?
we're in two different places and like they might take it differently than we do.
With the fog cameras though, I feel like if you're telling the AI to like black out the faces, that means it already caught a glimpse of your face though. Like it
Yeah.
already has your face in its
Oh,
data. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like the person who like reads something and blacks everything out.
Yeah,
He already
he knows
already
what's in
knows
there,
what he
right?
blacked out. But I feel like they're a good idea in concept, like if there's a criminal, but at the same time, we don't know how it will be used to track the daily person. Because it's like if I have a sword with two sides, I can use the sword to stab my enemies, but I could also fall onto it. And this like
And you
really
can stab your allies from the back. No, because like if it's like a double
We get it, bro. We get it. We get it.
We get it.
We get it. We get it. Alright, bro. We get it.
it, bro. Alright. So
touch it wide.
So basically, I feel like the cameras can be used to track criminals or like
It is.
I
But
think it's
There needs to be work done on it.
I
Like
think it's beneficial if it just tracks like criminals and stuff.
because it's like it helps the police force, but then we don't know what they're
but would
using
you
these
call
cameras
him a
for.
criminal if he just like once in his lifetime just jumps around?
Yes, like let's say I steal a car, right?
yeah.
It's
Then
g-
you're a criminal, right?
Yeah, but then it also reads license plates of people who aren't criminals because to find the license plate, that means it has to scan every license plate. And so that means my license plate, my information are gonna be in the database. And that means next time, like let's say I'm in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
I drive across the street, it takes my license plate. When I go to California, it will take my license plate again, and it will see that I traveled from New York to California. So it's gonna be able to track me in this way. And I think this is a big breach of
I
privacy.
feel like
but-
even like your what's that called? Dude, how do you pay your interstate
Easy pass.
Easy Pass? Yes, even your Easy Pass tracks you.
Easy pass.
No, I said Easy Pass.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like at airports.
No,
when they
like
check your-
E for elephant, Z for zebra, bro. Like Easy Pass.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
like at airports when they check.
Yeah, but
how-
that's different.
But
that
that's
is-
valid though.
yeah,
like
that's the valid thing.
they're trying to check if you're not running away from a
It's
crime.
like if you
No,
go to
Easy pass is like you pay.
No, he's talking about the pass.
So basically, I feel like Easy Pass is a little bit different from this
Yeah, Easy
because
Pass.
like you're paying to fix the road. You know what I'm saying? Like a bridge needs to be maintained. You're paying to maintain it. Well, what are you doing with your hand, bro?
yeah.
But these fog cameras, like you could still drive around in Easy Pass. There's other ways, but fog camera, you're not
Yeah.
gonna.
It's a
don't-
really 50-50.
You don't know where they are. So
Yeah.
there's a rumor going on that Anthropic is going to release Opus 5, and it's going to be half the cost of Fable, but it's going to be about the same accuracy. And I feel like this is a direct like confrontation towards Kimi. And so, what do you think about this cheaper model?
Opus 5.
It's not released yet. It's like rumors.
I feel like they're to run their business. They're definitely gonna have to release a new model, which like incorporates the laws that are placed against Mythos and Fable and how they're not being allowed to be used. And they're definitely gonna tune down the strength or the ability of how much data it can capture, how much data it can process, and all those. Like, and it's definitely not gonna be as powerful as Fable or Mythos. It's definitely going to be really tuned down and more available for international crowds to use because mostly like the revenue is from tech companies which are all over the world. Like there's only a handful of good tech companies which actually use huge and millions of tokens by cloud, you know.
Yeah.
They really need to stretch out to the internationals. So they're definitely going to add at least a smaller, easier version of the model to the international markets.
Yeah, and I feel like this is like what capitalism does at its finest, because it's like when Mythos was released and when Fable was released, right? A week or two after, immediately GPT like OpenAI released Sol 5.6, and now that Kimi was released, like Anthropic
Yo.
We should not have talked about Israel.
So
We should have not talked about Israel.
so
Wait,
Anthropic
GPT 5.6 Soul. It
Yeah.
is a thing.
and so immediately
Don't talk about it.
so Kimmy released, right?
Is it fine? Is it recording now?
Yeah. I'm not editing this part out. Like this is gonna be in the Alright. So let me finish my point.
What do you mean?
Alright, let me finish my point, bro. So basically after Kimmy was released, immediately Fable is not the best anymore. Like it is the best, but it's not the best for the price. And so now Claude is seeing that they need to do something else because Codex recently reached like 9 million of users, and that means the amount of users for Claude dropped, and now they need a new model. And I feel like
Yeah.
the amount of resets Codex has been getting, I feel like it's just better and better for the consumer as the companies try to compete with each other. So do you have any other questions?
It is complete backrooms, bro. Like, genuinely look
Do you have
at
any
it.
questions?
Um,
Hold on.
yo. Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So if like Teslas, self-driving cars, or Jaguar self-driving cars,
Waymo?
they have an AI in their address. So if they cause harm to people, should the user be like the person sitting?
Dude, I asked this
charged,
question
or
already.
should the? What do you guys think?
You did ask a similar question, but it was like for a different thing.
Yeah, I feel like
How we get
driving.
here.
I think these
Isn't that why all these companies are like,
driverless cars are the closest.
isn't that why they're making it so that you have your hands on the driving wheel though? So that you're liable for it.
But that's a different story. That's for Tesla, who has FSD, full self-driving,
But isn't that what he's
assisted.
talking
Full
about?
self.
No,
He was talking about Waymo, where like you have these Jaguars rolling around California
Oh.
without drivers. I feel like driverless cabs are like the closest things we have for robots to do any harm towards humans. Like let's say like Waymo goes.
Yeah, that's a
rogue.
good point because it's
Yeah.
like
my friend was in California, like in June.
In June.
And he like, for example, like, wow, how would he like rent a car for like $700 when he can just take a taxi? So he took a taxi. He sent me a picture. He's in the Jaguar back seat. So if that Jaguar, no driver, just auto driver. If that Jaguar crashes into someone,
Yeah, then
he can't be liable.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, and
I
who's
feel-
gonna pay for his health insurance too? Because it's not his fault. Like if he crashes, if
I feel like the Waymo cat crashes, then it's not.
because it's like if he gets injured when it wasn't his fault, how is he gonna pay for his health insurance? Or like if he hits somebody,
Yeah,
is he liable that he just wanted?
I
to
feel like
drive a
there's
taxi?
definitely clauses out there that.
Yeah, there's definitely, but I also, I also feel like though this isn't the closest thing.
What happened to my chapstick, bro?
This isn't the closest thing we have because like we do have,
Not my
in the military we do have like autonomous missiles being developed, which in drones, yeah, that are.
I feel like we're gonna glitch out again, bro.
These autonomous missiles are like being powered by Anthropic, or now they're being powered by ChatGPT. Before they were being powered by Anthropic, and so I don't know. I really don't like how like everybody's moving towards autonomous warfare, as it's like they don't have the same feeling of like humanity as.
What kind of
Yeah, like the drones will like.
what kind of feeling are you trying to get from?
No,
Well,
like,
if let's say there's a woman with 4 kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not gonna. How is it gonna distinguish her
Yeah.
from somebody else that it's supposed to kill?
Yeah, it just sees.
Well, there's definitely
people.
parameters like that, like
I mean,
Yeah, but all right,
different
let's say,
uniforms.
how can
Like,
all right, but let's say
train-
it's a woman dressed in green clothes now,
how do you
and
train?
now she looks similar to
like
one,
what if her
but she is
pants are camo and like
like what if she looks to one, but a regular person would see that she isn't.
Okay,
Would-
what if it's like a little kid?
or what if somebody wants to surrender? Because like there's international laws saying that you have the right to surrender if you're disarmed.
I
Yeah,
feel
and
like
you can't. And there's like a law that like you can't shoot little kids. But like the
Yo, we're gonna glitch out again.
no, but the thing is, you can't train.
Yeah, how are you gonna train it to not shoot kids?
Yeah, what if a kid is like?
There's different parameters you
No,
can
what if
set.
a
what
kid
are
has
the
like a
parameters?
genetics and like he's like 5 foot at age of 4? Like that is possible. There's some not at age of 8 and stuff.
Let's say he's like 10 years old and he's 5 foot. Bro, people are 5 foot at 10 years old. Some people.
That
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are 5 foot at 10
Yeah.
years old.
But like, how you train an AI to detect that that's a kid and not a short person?
I feel like if they're deployed, then they should be deployed in a place where there are no civilians.
I mean, every
Like in a-
place has civilians except for bases. But like the
Yeah, but bases
also-
have civilians.
yeah, like the
They have like
cooks
the
and stuff.
families of
And cooks.
Cooks are military.
Oh.
They have the families sometimes living on site.
I think we still need more evolving of AI needed because
But I
I
feel like
don't think you can deploy them so confidently.
yeah,
just
and I
yet.
also feel like we should focus on like problems in the country first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like if we develop a system that can detect, that can like, find criminals or prevent terrorist attack before they happen, well then that's a lot better than if we have the military ability to, I don't know, like invade a country and destroy everything in the country, but we still have problems in our own country that we can't fix.
Do you guys think that in the future, there will be like some AI that will be able to like, so you know how there's like self-driving cars, and you know how there's like autopilot in planes. You think there will be like services like where the no pilot, just the plane that like drives, like flies on its own, takes off on its own, taxis on its own,
Maybe-
lands on
may-
its own. Because
That is valid.
Flies on its own.
yeah, flies on its own, but there's autopilot.
Drives on its own.
Alright.
Yeah,
like,
but and again, if it crashes, who's at fault?
the company should be at fault because
No, I feel like they'll never remove both the pilots. Maybe they'll
One
just
pilot.
one
co-pilot,
pilot.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
like they'll fly on its own, but there's always gonna be a.
I mean,
pilot
they
that-
already find their own.
no, they don't.
Yes, the pilots, like, the only part I'm pretty sure a pilot does is take off
Take
and land.
off
And land.
middle because like they have to turn and stuff. The thing,
But the
I
plane-
think a co-pilot can. I mean, an autopilot can do
no,
that.
autopilot doesn't.
You just fly straight.
Yeah, it maintains altitude,
Okay.
and then they land, which is very high effort. It takes a lot of effort because
I feel like a co-pilot can
If
do
you-
that. Like just one pilot can do that.
yeah,
Mhm.
because like you're at the front of the plane, and if you don't feel what the back feels, and if the back wheels,
All right, bro, this is
Land.
not a plane
then
podcast.
everyone
it's
is
not a
injured.
plane podcast.
No, but he's saying valid stuff.
Like the AI doesn't feel and like doesn't feel.
Yeah, but you could
like-
have sensors.
You could, but you have. To
I feel like a
train-
sensor would be more accurate than a human's intuition, right?
Yeah, but
Because
sensors they don't train for hundreds
yeah,
of hours.
they could.
I mean, like
You could.
pilots,
They could.
to become like one of the high end.
Yeah, but it's easier.
Best.
They could put these sensors on every single airplane, and they'll get hundreds of hours of flight in like 4 days, because they'll put sensors on every single plane, right? So they'll just mass farm the data, and then they'll be able to use their own models for it.
I agree.
I feel like that's a question of ethics and not about.
What ethics are there? Like, how does this possibly affect anybody with ethics?
I mean, cause like
Can't
so-
fake
no,
that,
no, no.
bro.
no. So basically,
Shouldn't
the
fake-
pilots,
yeah.
right? They like want to
Yeah,
make
but-
it smooth. The AI, they don't care about people. They don't feel the
Yeah,
same
but-
stuff people feel.
But it's not a question about feeling. It's how, if my sensor is in the threshold of like 4 degrees, then it's gonna have to do this.
Mhm.
It's like if a pilot would do it based off his feeling of him hitting the ground, the AI would do it based off the sensor giving it a certain value, which I feel like could be honestly
Yeah,
be
but
more
also-
accurate than the pilot's feelings.
By the time the sensor gets the data from one landing, it'll be too late to like fix what happened.
Well,
'cause, like,
pilot also
no.
can't fix what
I
happened,
mean,
bro.
But they cannot.
Alright,
They're
bro.
more
New
experienced.
question.
They're more
Question.
experienced.
So my question is: so as people are a little concerned and not comfortable with completely using AI Chinese AI models in the United States of America.
Well, I don't think they're uncomfortable. I feel like they're.
No, I feel like that's a question of national security. Like,
But I feel
they're
like
putting that.
it's not, because if it's open source, if the weights are, you could download the weights, then I feel like there's no security concern because you're able to see the code itself. You're able to see the model. I feel like security concern would be if I was running it
No, I'm
from their
talking
website.
about like these powerful AI models.
If I run Kimi, I can. If it's China's saying they want to open source these models, if they're open source, then there's no concern. But I feel like lawmakers should like learn more about this sphere, because if they pass a law, which I feel like limiting people's ability to use open source models is like that hurts our free speech, right?
I agree.
But does it not? Because it's like I can choose whatever phone I want to have. I could choose whatever, I don't know, I could choose whatever computer I want to have. But why am I being forced to use these three American companies or like these American companies when I could use something from China for a fraction of the cost, which is guaranteed to be safe? Because
it's like open source and
yeah,
you
like,
have
you don't
access
know
to it.
where Claude
It's
puts their
putting
data.
Yeah.
Also, there are like these AIs that like do like videos for you, that generate videos. Like there was a Sora AI, which was like
Well, that got shut down.
yeah, but there are other ones that like HeyGen,
Yeah.
yeah, they also like there's a trial and stuff, but like
Like they train off the data they make.
yeah, but
I mean,
I feel like this token plan of these high-gen, like the new gen models like Claude, not Sonnet, but Opus 4.8, they have this token system where once you reach the daily limit of your $20 plan, you have to buy more tokens. It's really profitable.
yeah.
If you're talking about big companies, or just a normal person trying to build an app or trying to build a
they're just
good business
And
site.
I have Codex right now, right?
Yeah,
I have the $20 plan.
yeah.
I paid for 1 month. And I feel like it's very predatory because they recently removed the 5-hour limit. And like that seems like a good sign. Everybody's happy for it. But if you really look into it,
But
that
the
means
AI productivity is low.
it's like they removed the 5-hour plan, but they didn't remove the weekly plan. So the usage that would have taken you a week, you burn it through in a whole day, and then you have to pay for more tokens. And I feel like they're getting us hooked with these resets, because Codex gives you like a reset every week when they hit some new milestone. And I feel like with these amount of resets they're giving us, they're like getting us hooked onto their own like programs, and it's gonna be a lot harder for me now to go to Claude, even because I've been using Codex for a month. I'm used to it now, and whenever I run out of usage, I have no other option but to pay for
yeah.
tokens.
And Claude like detects it like bans you because you're not 18, I think, because it detects keywords.
Yeah.
It detects keywords that suggest that you're less
Not
than-
18. Yes,
I feel like
that's a bigger
I feel
problem.
like that's very inaccurate, and it's also
You could be
yeah, but that's not.
an older person.
I
and,
feel like the only problem with this is that after they see that you're not 18, they force you to verify with your ID. And I feel like when they verify with your ID, right, I feel like that's honestly infringing on our rights. Because like we don't, why did they want our ID? Like to
Yeah.
verify that we're 18, but why do they, like their systems, they want to verify you with your ID so that they can take your data.
No, I feel like same thing with Meta. Let's say you're faking your age and trying to let's say you're trying to fake your age into Instagram. They ask for your ID or your passport or anything which has your valid date of birth, and they give you a guarantee that they'll delete it. And
But you don't know if they actually will.
I faked my date of birth for Instagram.
why would you say that? Why would you say that, bro?
Alright,
Why
but
would you say that?
I feel
What
like-
did your right brain told you it would be a good idea to
I have
say
nothing
that?
to lose. In fact, I have stuff to gain if my account gets banned.
What do you mean? How does it?
You guys don't want to know.
Alright. But I feel like we don't know where they store their data, and like the fact that I understand like saying your age, but I feel like it should be more on the user. If they lie about their age and then something bad happens to them, I feel like that's like their
Yeah, that's on the
liability.
user's fault. Like,
But like You don't know
let's
how
talk about
accurate
Alan.
Anthropic is.
Like, let's say he fakes his age into getting it Instagram.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, he fakes his age to get into Instagram, and then there are older people trying to talk
Yeah.
to Alan. Like
He's
that's
a Gideon decoy.
Yeah.
And then something extremely unpleasant happens to him.
yeah.
No, but so I feel like everybody's saying that this stuff happened bad because Facebook is like this guy texted this kid, but I understand that's bad, but if Facebook starts doing if they read our messages, which they already do, but if they publicly read it, then there will be outrage that they we don't have privacy. But then if they don't do it, then people are complaining that they should be reading it because to prevent such things. And then it's how do they know if it's gonna happen? What if
So
I'm
in
texting my
Apple-
uncle?
So in Apple, so I was trying to transfer my photos to OneDrive. It gave me a little warning that you don't have to send your photos to some people. It was putting a restriction, telling me that, Alright, bro, can you Alright, so it was telling me to if you have any problems, someone is blackmailing you, you should definitely reach out to someone. That means they're looking through my photos.
Well,
Not that I have any
I'm
bad
not sure
photos.
if they're
It's
looking
just
through your
that
photos,
they
but
have this AI model because I
don't
have
know. I feel
selfies and things of
but
my
they could also
family.
be doing this because they see that you're moving a large number of pictures very quickly. You know what I'm saying? It
And
doesn't
they-
have to be automated AI, but they could also just see that this user selected 500 pictures to move. You know what I'm saying? Plus, also, it's in their interest to keep you on their iCloud, on their storage. So they could also be saying it for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel but also meta glasses. What's your opinion on meta glasses? And
Meta glasses, I heard that many people are modding meta glasses by
yeah, I
paying
heard that too.
$200 to remove that
The light.
flashlight. Yeah.
So people don't know if
Yeah,
they're recording.
yeah. And the interface that you can see on the inside too. I feel some glasses have that. They're also having
Honestly,
polarized.
bro, I'm want the Apple glasses to come out, bro. Apple has been saying that they're gonna release Apple glasses soon. Not soon, but in the next couple of years. I feel that'd be.
I feel they would replace mobile phones.
I don't know about replacing, because I don't think majority apps will come onto there at first. But I feel
Maybe not.
it will
the
definitely
next
lower
5
the usage.
Yeah. The new Meta glasses where you get that little ring and you can finger it to your.
You could what?
Yeah.
All right, but I feel
No, you could choose what selection. It's like a little thing on your hand.
But honestly, bro,
Yo, what am I doing?
I don't-
cut
I
that
per-
part out. Cut that part
I
out.
personally don't have meta glasses, but dude, the UI
You
of the
are
meta
cutting
glasses.
that part out, bro.
No, we're not.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
you
It's
No,
are,
we're
bro.
not. Alright, but the UI of the meta glasses is
Yeah.
honestly ugly. Have you seen the UI
I
of the
feel
meta
like the
glasses?
meta glasses are bad.
They're good for
$200
recording.
thing.
For their price, they're not good.
No, but also, if you have the light, it lets the people know that you're recording. But if you take it off, that's just an invasion of privacy. And plus, it's meta. It takes the faces of everyone.
Yeah,
So
realistically,
if you're
right?
walking in a crowded Walmart on a Black Friday, for example, where it's even more crowded, you walk by, you see a bunch of faces. You don't you personally don't see.
Yeah,
their faces,
that's a good
but
point.
The AI
because
sees every single face.
Yeah, that's a good point because even though they have this light, they still scan the faces. They still store the faces of the people you looked at. So what help does it have that they show them that they're being looked at? But it's not in their power to remove these pictures. They can't publish a thing that's saying I want my face removed. It's not in their power. And also this light. Let's say I'm outside. No one's gonna recognize that this light is being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no consent to record, and
I feel the
They're
flashlight is really
privacy.
bright so that you can try to make out that people are
But it's
recording.
not outside.
sure.
Outside, I feel people would just
Outside.
think it's a jewel in your glasses.
Yeah.
Another thing about meta glasses, one of my close relatives was working on my sister was working on a project where they built these glasses which help like blind people recognize family, recognize like if they're gonna bump into things or if they're cooking or not, what not to touch, what he and how far away things are, because
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
yeah, because she
It's probably difficult to create something, to work on something like that.
All right, yeah, continue, bro.
Continue.
Shut up, bro. Yeah, continue.
no, because I feel like that's a really good application of wherever meta glasses are trying to head at. So
All right, yeah, that's a very good point. And honestly, I'm very excited for like the future of this stuff because I wouldn't want to buy a MetaQuest 3 right now, right? Because like I feel like they could still work on some stuff.
yeah,
Like honestly, I really like all this technology, like the Apple Vision Pros.
yeah,
I know they're
dude.
expensive. Honestly, you see the price hike.
It's
they
like
increased the
$5,000, right?
Yeah, they increased the price on something that already.
Is really expensive.
I understand they're for developers, and this probably isn't the consumer item.
Yeah,
But like honestly, like all this technology, how like the Quest 3, like I'm honestly waiting for the Quest 4 to come out.
when it came out, people were doing
Oh, yeah.
challenges like
So 256 gigabytes is 3.
All right, we don't need the
1,700.
pricing breakdown, bro.
The lowest of 3,700, highest of 4,200.
Mhm.
Plus
you can buy
taxes
like a
and
really
all
good MacBook with that,
that. Yeah.
But I
like
feel
a
like
MacBook Pro.
I'm
Not
excited
much
with all of
better.
this like technology because
Two phones with that.
honestly,
2 iPhone 17s. 3.
bro, we don't care, bro. We
Just
don't
spray
care.
him real quick.
We don't care
It's
about.
like a shower.
But all right, but like all this technology, I feel like
That's all.
it's moving progress forward. But honestly, you don't really understand like what are the applicable uses of having Apple Vision Pros, or what's the use of having a
Basically just like Oculus Quest. But
yeah, but
more
what would
advanced.
you possibly use it for in a
No,
professional
you
sphere?
can like it's AR. Like you can look at objects and you can imagine things, stuff.
Yeah, but like,
how's
do you
that
really
helping
need
in a
that?
job?
Do you really need that? I feel like that's more of like an entertainment thing than like a.
It is, but what if it becomes the new norm? Like you don't need phones anymore. Like what you look at when you take a
Like,
picture of.
I would really want to buy an Oculus
I mean, it
Quest
looks
4 when
really
comes out,
obnoxious. Such a huge headpiece on your head.
but yeah, it's like
24/7.
you wouldn't unless they start marketing it more. You
Yeah.
wouldn't really want to go outside wearing one of these because you could also get hit by a car. I feel like
No,
you're,
I feel like they
Like,
record that
the
too.
system,
I feel like a blind
messes
spot
up.
is pretty big.
Yeah.
Scratch.
Alright, so do you have any other questions?
No, I think it's good.
Yeah, I feel like it's really good. Really
Yeah.
good
Thank you. See
talking.
you in the next episode.
Yeah, so thank you guys.
you
Ignore
so
what
much.
he just said. Ignore what he just said. Let me tie it in. So thank you guys for staying for this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on
Like,
the next
sub, and
episode. Yeah.
Follow us on. Follow us on.
Follow us on every platform. We're trying to take over the internet.
Yeah, like AI is taking over the world.